5 Special Commando units awaiting your orders, sir.
What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new Star Wars Battlefront 2 video. And in today's video we're going to be talking about the brand new Geonosis DLC season, or the Clone Wars DLC season, depending on what you want to call it, and the past, present and future of Battlefront 2, which came fresh from EA Play yesterday. But before we get fully into this video, I want you to let me know down in the comment section below what you think of the Geonosis or the Clone Wars DLC season, whichever way it's going to be called, I don't know yet. Also, let me know what you want to see in the future of Battlefront 2, now that they've opened up a little bit more about it. Make sure to smash a like on this video as well to show support for Battlefront 2 on the channel, and if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to be kept up to date with Battlefront 2 content and see exclusive gameplay videos in the future. But now, let's get on to the topic of today's video. So if you haven't heard by now, Clone Wars content is coming to Battlefront 2 for Season 3, I think it is. This is the new Clone Wars era, and it's going to be starting off with Geonosis, Obi-Wan Kenobi, General Grievous, Anakin Skywalker, and Count Dooku. There's also a lot more to cover in this video, but that is just a brief taster of what we're going to be getting for this season whenever it does arrive. This was announced yesterday at EA Play by Dennis Branwell, basically the god of Battlefront 2, who has given everybody what they finally want when it comes to the game. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see in the next few weeks to see when it's going to be arriving and what else is going to be coming, but I'm really excited for the future of the game now this has been announced. So, a love for Star Wars and a passion for amazing games has always been at the heart of the DICE team behind Battlefront 2. When the game launched, they had tripled the amount of content compared to its predecessor, spanning 3 Star Wars eras. They set out to unite the player base by removing the Season Pass, and they provided an original story campaign focused on Iden Versio and the Inferno Squad. However, they are fully aware that the launch of the game did not go as they planned. As a result, they did spend a lot of time and effort going back to make the essential changes to the game to improve it, which we all wanted. In March this year, they introduced the Overhauled linear progression update to the players of Battlefront 2. In April, players were able to spend in-game credits or crystals for cosmetic appearances. These are the skins for the troopers and the heroes. Along with this, they updated the game with additional maps, appearances, fixes and modes, including the fan favourite Ewok Hunt, which is now here to stay in the game permanently. And in May, they launched the Han Solo season, which was sort of a disappointment to pretty much everyone who plays the game, but it's understandable that they did it because of the Han Solo movie which came out. And this does continue on June the 12th with additional content inspired by the actual movie Solo: A Star Wars Story, not just content from Return of the Jedi, which is basically what the first part was. With these updates in place, they are confident that there has never been a better time to play Star Wars Battlefront 2, and there is a lot more to come. To the passionate Battlefront 2 community, they have heard us, they recognise that we asked for more Clone Wars content, and we asked for new ways to play the game. We asked for more frequent and transparent communication from DICE and EA as well. So they'd like to share what's ahead for Battlefront 2. Now, Clone Wars content is coming to the game, and at EA Play they announced that they are going to expand Star Wars Battlefront 2 with new content from the Clone Wars era starting this fall with monthly updates. So that's going to be around, what, October time I think that will be. And one of the major theatres of war in the Star Wars prequels era is Geonosis, and that is going to be coming as a new location to play and explore in the game this fall. We're going to be getting 2 of the most highly requested hero characters, Obi-Wan Kenobi and General Grievous, and they will enter Battlefront 2 in fall as well with this Geonosis DLC season, and they will not come alone. Joining them is the Sith Lord and leader of the Separatists, Count Dooku, as well as Anakin Skywalker. These are heroes which have been highly requested since the game's launch back in November, I think it was, and more details on the upcoming Clone Wars content will be shared in the coming months. Now, the road ahead and transparency in general has been touched upon. They said ahead of the Clone Wars content drops, we'll still be committed to delivering regular updates to the game with events and fixes to Battlefront 2. This will include quality of life updates and new ways to play the game. Coming in July is a new Starfighter mode focused on piloting hero ships. I think this is just basically hero ships fighting against each other like heroes versus villains in the game at the moment. And they are pleased with the positive response they have had on this season's Hero Showdown, and they believe players will appreciate this similar, more focused approach to Hero Starfighter battles. They said in this mode, players will spawn as one of the available hero ships on their respective sides. If taken out, you'll re-enter the game as a normal fighter, bomber, or interceptor. And to win the game, your team of 4 needs to take out all enemy hero starfighters. Later this year as well, they're going to be introducing a non-linear, larger scale mode where players battle for control of objectives around the map. This does sound like the original game's Conquest mode, but we'll have to wait for more details on it. And they're also going to be bringing changes to how squads will work, including spawning on squad mates. And this is just the start of the improvements to the game. It sounds like it's going to be absolutely insane. They said in an effort to improve upon our transparency, we're going to provide a more detailed roadmap on what's ahead for Star Wars Battlefront 2. We'll be able to share this with you after we've rounded up the Han Solo season in the end of June. So in the next 2 or 3 weeks we will get a clearer idea or picture of what the game is going to be like over the next year or so. They said thank you to our players and the community, thank you for being passionate about the game, thank you for sharing your feedback, thank you for playing Battlefront 2. Now, if you head on over to the community transmission for the Clone Wars on the official Battlefront 2 forums by Ben Walk, he basically covers everything that I've just covered in this video previously, but then he goes on to say further down in this sort of community transmission, saying that right now we're still focused on the Han Solo season, which is understandable, but we'll be back to talk more about Clone Wars and the future of Star Wars Battlefront 2 at the end of June. So that's obviously the roadmap. We're going to get to find out a bit more about the Clone Wars season as well, or the Geonosis season, whatever it's going to be called, at the end of this month. So it's really not long to wait to find out more about the game and what we can expect to see over the next few months. So it's going to be interesting to see what else does actually arrive in the Clone Wars DLC season, because we are getting Geonosis, General Grievous, Obi-Wan, Count Dooku, and then we get Anakin Skywalker as well. There is talk of a bigger, more conquest-like mode with capital ships as well, which is going to be quite interesting. I wonder how big that battle is going to actually be. Will we get to go up into space? Will we have to stay on the ground? Will the capital ships be in the atmosphere around the map? Or will it be completely seamless ground-to-space combat? We'll just have to wait and see. I'm also quite interested to see what reinforcements we might get with this Geonosis or Clone Wars DLC season. I don't think it's going to be too wild with reinforcements. However, I would love to see Geonosians as a reinforcement for the sort of dark type side of the game. As for what we could get for the clones as reinforcements, that's when we could see ARC Troopers finally come into the game. If you remember, there was leaked gameplay of ARC Troopers quite a while ago, but that kind of died off and there has been no news or talk of the ARC Troopers coming back into the game since that happened. So ARC Troopers could come with the Geonosis DLC season. And then I'm also interested to see what we could get for Clone Wars content after Geonosis, because they're bringing in 4 of the main characters from the prequels in this one DLC season, obviously to please fans who have been wanting this type of content for a long period of time, myself included. Can we get to see more characters like Ahsoka maybe coming into the game, Captain Rex, maybe even Darth Sidious as a separate hero, or would he just be a skin for Palpatine? I don't really know how that would work, because if you brought in Darth Sidious with lightsabers, it would completely change Palpatine's playstyle, so I'm not really sure if they would bring him in as a skin or a completely brand new hero, because once Grievous and Count Dooku come into the game, that's all of the main villains from the prequel era in the game. We have Darth Maul, we have General Grievous, then we have Count Dooku. That is all 3 of the main villains, so that kind of dries out the ideas unless they move on to the Clone Wars animated series, where we could potentially see people like Savage Opress or Asajj Ventress come into the game as well. They would be really cool. However, I'm not really sure if EA and DICE are going to delve into the Clone Wars series for content. It would be awesome if they did, but I'm not really sure if Disney will allow them to actually do that. I hope they do. It would be awesome to see so many characters from the Clone Wars in Battlefront 2 at some point. However, I think EA and DICE will probably go into other eras as well, not just stick to the prequel era for DLC seasons in the future. But like I said at the start of this video, I want to know what you guys think, so please do let me know down in the comments section below what characters or content you would like to see come into Battlefront 2 in the future, since there is so much information about now, and the Clone Wars has been confirmed along with General Grievous, Obi-Wan, Anakin and Count Dooku. I really can't wait to get to play as those guys in the game. They are my favourite characters really, so it's going to be awesome to play as them. Make sure to smash a like on this video as well if you have enjoyed it, and if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to be kept up to date with Battlefront 2 content and see exclusive gameplay videos in the future. But other than that, we'll see you in the next video.